Wow. That may be the greatest intro in a long time.
Hello, everyone. I'm a bit sick today, as you might have noticed.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been coughing throughout the entire time we've been talking.
I haven't noticed. I haven't noticed until just then.
God damn it. God damn it, David.
Yeah. Well, it's too bad that you're sick then, because we're both gonna be doing a lot of talking this episode because we're gonna be explaining things. Do you want to introduce our topic?
Yes. Our topic today is wait, I have it somewhere. Hold on. It's somewhere here. It's laws. Wait. It's wait. Hold on. It's eponymous laws.
Yes, we are basically just taking things from a Wikipedia article titled "List of Eponymous." We assume that's how it's pronounced, or at least I assume. I don't know. Maybe you're sure of yourself.
Eponymous laws, maybe.
Yes, list of eponymous laws. It's a Wikipedia article, a very cool and sometimes funny Wikipedia article because it just lists a bunch of laws. You know, ever heard of Newton's laws? Well, he has 3 of them, kind of like that.
Ever heard of Murphy's Law? Well,
yes.
It's the law I live by.
Yes. And Murphy's Law is one of the famous examples. In fact, it kind of inspired me to suggest this topic because I was reading something, I saw Murphy's Law, and then it reminded me how, like a year ago, I found this Wikipedia article, this Wikipedia page, the list of eponymous laws, and was just entertained for like 2 hours.
Yeah. Murphy's Law just reminds me of how the TV show.
Okay. Alright, so Tom Holt, he has collected some interesting and funny laws, and I have collected some interesting and funny laws, mostly interesting ones because mine weren't funny apparently. Yeah. So do you want to start first then? Let's go with these laws.
Well, okay. You know what? Yeah, sure. You know what? The first law I'm gonna talk about right now is Asimov's 3 laws of robotics.
Oh, yes. I like this.
Formulated by Isaac Asimov.
Yes, my favorite writer, by the way. I don't know if you knew that, but he is my favorite writer.
I knew that because
okay.
You kept on suggesting me Isaac Asimov.
Oh,
so,
right, yes.
So, get on with
me,
it.
I don't remember the laws of robotics off the top of my head. You got to do it.
Yeah. A robot may not injure a human being, or through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey the orders given by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection doesn't conflict with the first or second laws. And that is the 3 laws of robotics, or Isaac Asimov.
Yes, and they never seem to work properly.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. They never seem to work in movies. Not in real life. I don't know anything about real life robots.
Well, I think Asimov's whole point is that these laws sound pretty cool, but they actually wouldn't work.
Yeah, these laws should exist, because who would want Terminators to happen, am I right?
I mean, yeah, but the laws are just gonna fail anyway, so.
I mean, you don't know that.
Well, but that's what happens in his books though. Like these laws that like appear perfect, like they don't work.
They don't. Okay.
Yeah, that's what happens in the stories.
Then what is the purpose of these laws?
It's kind of like to illustrate how like we think these laws would work. So the thing about his stories is that the laws, they appear to be like perfect and like it works, like it looks on paper it seems like it would stop a robot takeover, but in the book they all have unforeseen consequences and then they kind of turn out badly. And the robots take over anyway.
I'm sorry. I'm really sick.
Okay. My apologies to you for pushing you through this, but the show must go on.
The show must go on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The show must go on.
Oh god. Okay.
Yeah, I've actually never read any of Asimov's robot stories because I read Foundation. I read all 3 original Foundations, and I absolutely love it. And I've also read a lot of his short stories, but I've never read any of his robot novels. I do have a copy of iRobot on my shelf, but I haven't gotten to reading that just yet.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so should I go on with my law, or do you have anything to add about Asimov's law of robotics?
No, I don't think I have anything to add with Asimov's laws of robotics. So.
Okay, so the first law I'm gonna start off with is Lewis's law, and Lewis's law is that the comments on any article about feminism justify feminism.
What?
So his law is that the comments on any article about feminism justify the need for feminism.
Justifies the need for feminism.
Mm-hmm.
When was this?
When was this? I don't know, man. Lewis just came up with it.
No, but when did Lewis come up with it?
I don't know.
How old is Lewis? Is he alive?
I don't know. I don't even know who Lewis is. I just copy and pasted the law.
I see.
As you can see, we do next to no research on this podcast.
Exactly.
That is the secret to time travel way, laziness.
Yeah, secret to time travel. Page 1, laziness.
Yeah, the first law of the secret to time travel is laziness.
Laziness
is next to managerliness.
What?
Never mind, you don't get
laziness.
that reference. Do you get that reference?
What was the reference?
Laziness is next to managerliness.
Managerliness? No, I don't.
Cleanliness is next to managerliness.
No.
It's from the SpongeBob movie.
The SpongeBob movie?
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wait, which one are we talking about? The Shelbyville?
The first one.
Not the Shelbyville. I mean.
The first one.
The what?
The first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When he brushes his eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember. Okay. Well.
So yeah, say what you want about feminism, but I mean it's most of the time it's kind of true. On an article about feminism, there's bound to be at least one guy bashing the whole female species. So
yes.
Yeah, kind of does justify feminism.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Okay. Now, should I go on with mine, or do you have...
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't know how to pronounce this man's name. Never mind. Brandolini's law is the amount of energy needed to refuse bullshit is an order of magnitude bigger than to produce it. Named after an Italian program, Roberto Brandolini.
That's awesome.
Exactly. The amount of energy needed to refuse bullshit is an order of magnitude bigger than to produce it. Mm-hmm. So you're using more energy to refuse the bullshit than creating bullshit. Right?
Yeah, it's like if I want to say that Kennedy was killed by climate change and not by some conspiracy, then that's going to be pretty hard for you to refute.
That is true. To refute bullshit is
which is why I say he was killed by climate change. Not the CIA, not Lee Harvey Oswald, not Israel or LBJ or whoever you guys think. It was climate change, I tell you. Climate change!
It was a climate change. I predict that he was killed by the common... the common cold.
Your coughs have perfect timing.
Exactly.
I guess I won't see you on Monday then.
It's both a curse and a gift.
It's funny because the people listening to this podcast probably won't get that joke. Well,
exactly.
they might.
I mean, they might. Some of them.
Some of them will.
Exactly.
Yeah, if they know us personally.
Yep.
Alright.
If they know what.
So shall we move on?
Did I mention that this was named by an Italian programmer named Alberto Brandolini?
No, you did not.
Yes.
Good job. Good job, Alberto.
Alberto Brandolini. Yeah. All right. So you can go on now.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with Miller's law. This is okay. In Miller's law in communication, because Miller's law actually has 3 applications according to what I've looked into. But Miller's law in regards to communication is to understand what another person is saying, you must assume that it is true and try to imagine what it could be true of.
To what?
To understand what another person is saying, you must assume that what they're saying is true and try to imagine what they say, what else could it apply to, basically.
Okay.
So it's like if I say if I say gravity doesn't exist, then to truly understand what I mean when I say gravity doesn't exist, you must assume that gravity doesn't actually exist and then try to imagine what are the consequences of gravity not existing.
We'd all be floating in the air and there'd be no oxygen.
Right, exactly, which is why gravity exists.
Oh, okay, I kind of get the law now, alright.
Yeah. So you gotta first assume it's right, and then only do you work on trying to deconstruct the logic.
I see. But that kind of... Doesn't that kind of fit with the refute bullshit thing?
I suppose. It will take effort to refute it, sometimes.
Yeah. So, but it's not really to produce it. So I could say... what could I say? I could say light doesn't exist.
Right. So now, according to Miller's law, I would have to assume that light doesn't exist, and then try to imagine what that means if light doesn't exist. Then does that mean I'm... Oh my god, does that mean I'm living in a simulation? We're going back to last week's topic now.
Oh gosh. Oh god.
I'm living in my mind. I'm living in my imagination. I'm actually a dream. I'm actually dreaming right now. That's the only way of explaining why I can see things, right, without light.
Yeah, man, like...
Oh, and I actually heard an interesting thing someone said the other day. Because it takes time for light to travel, that means the only thing we experience in real time is our own dreams.
Wait a minute, so we're experiencing the past, kind of?
I mean, we're constantly perceiving the past. I mean, of course, the speed of light is so fast, 3.0 times 10 to the power of 8 meters per second, if I remember correctly. But, you know, I mean, technically we are looking at the past. Right now, we're looking at the past. Just like, it's so small that it's negligible. But we are looking at the past. I mean, that is true. There's no way of saying it's wrong.
So is there a way that we could look into the future?
And that's...
the topic for
That's topic for another day. Alright,
okay.
So your next law is...
Alright. My next law is dubbed Clarke's 3 laws formulated by Arthur C. Clarke. Yeah, formulated by Arthur C. Clarke. Okay, it starts off with several... What is this? Corollaries to these laws have also been proposed. Okay. First law. When a distinguished but elderly scientist states that something is possible, he is almost certainly right. When he states that something is impossible, he is very possibly wrong. Second law. The only way of discovering the limits of the possible is to venture a little way past. A little way past them into the impossible. Mm-hmm. Third law. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
Yeah. I've heard the third one. The third one is very true.
Magic?
I mean, any technology that is so far advanced, it is indistinguishable from magic, right? Like, planes probably seem like magic to a caveman or something.
Or like a kid.
Or like a kid?
Like a kid. They don't understand.
I mean, they don't understand it, but they know that there's an explanation for it.
Not really. No, like if it's like a 5-year-old, I'm not like a 10-year-old.
Okay,
Kid.
sure.
I'm like 5.
Yeah, it's
Watching.
like what is it like?
Watching My Little
You know what?
Pony.
I don't know what it's like. Forget I said that. Or I'm just too lazy to come up with an example, really. All right, so should I move on?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with Moore's law, spelled Moors. I don't really know how to pronounce that. Moore says, or Calvin Moorsin. That's the name of the guy. Moorsin. I'm gonna say Moorsin. I'm gonna assume that's how you pronounce it. Moorsin.
Moorsin?
Yeah, and Moorsin says an information retrieval system will tend not to be used whenever it is more painful and troublesome for a customer to have information than for him not to have it.
I see.
Which basically means if you're lazy to read a book, then you're not going to bother reading the book. And you're not going to get the knowledge from that book. But if you aren't lazy to read a book, then you will. But a person who's lazy to read a book will get that knowledge from a computer or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, isn't that kind of obvious?
Well, yeah, but all of these laws are kind of obvious, I guess. Which is why they're laws.
Yeah, that's true.
Because someone was like, hey, I think this is true. And then everyone was like, hey, yeah, you're right.
That's a law.
Yeah, we should call it a law or something. Hey, maybe if we don't want to call it a law, we can call it a principle. Or if it's like a rule of thumb, we can call it a rule or a razor if we want to.
Or a lightsaber.
Yeah, no, I've not heard that one before.
Okay.
Okay, alright. Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
I stumbled upon something called Asimov's lightsabers. Not Asimov. I mean, someone's lightsaber. It was a law, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on. You know what? Okay, let me explain my actual law that I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna go find it and mention that later.
Alright.
All right. Oh wait, are you done with yours though?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next law, Cunningham's law. The best way to get the right answer on the internet is not to ask a question, it's to post the wrong answer.
Yeah, this is so true.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just so true.
It is very true. Like, you post the wrong answer, you'll get the right answer. Wait.
Yeah. Unless the question is what was the song in the video, the answer is always The Root Sandstorm.
Okay. That's a very old meme. Come on, man.
No, I don't care if it's an old meme. People still use it. It's still awesome. Copyright strike.
Okay. I mean, we're a very small channel. I don't think we'll get a copyright strike.
Oh, you underestimate the power of the Padawan.
I underestimate the power of the YouTube. It's what I underestimate.
I'm just saying, I'm not a big Star Wars fan, so I don't know if what I said made sense or not.
It did make sense.
Okay.
No, it didn't make sense.
I said you underestimate the power of the Padawan.
Yeah, you did. Oh, no, yeah. You know what? Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay.
What was I thinking?
Alright, so
no, I don't want to go to Andy and Bill's law. What? No, wait, this is actually good. Can I just add this?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Can I just say this now? Okay.
Yeah.
Andy and Bill's law. I'm so happy I stumbled upon this by accident. Andy and Bill's law states that what Andy giveth, Bill taketh away.
Is that it?
That's it.
I don't even know what that means.
No, okay, that's more. Referring to Andy Grove of Intel providing faster processor hardware, and Bill Gates of Microsoft providing slower PC software. Okay.
Okay, I still don't know what it means.
No.
But it sounds funny.
Yes. What Andy meaning Andy Grove of Intel, providing faster processor hardware. Giveth, which is the faster processor hardware.
Right.
Bill taketh away, Bill being Bill Gates of Microsoft, which is taking away the fast processor and replacing it with the slower PC software.
But why would he replace something that's fast with something that's slow?
Because it's Bill Gates.
Okay. I won't question it. The next law is Newton's flaming laser sword.
Yes, that's it. That's the one.
Oh, okay.
That's the one. Newton's flaming laser sword.
Yeah, what cannot be settled by experiment is not worth debating. Now, I don't personally agree with this, but it's got such a cool name.
It's got such a good
Just
name.
because you can't settle something definitively doesn't mean it's not worth debating.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because if you think about it, there's more stuff that can't be settled than there is stuff that can be settled. I mean, that's probably not true, but there's plenty of stuff that can't be settled that people debate, and I don't think it's necessarily worthless or it's useless to debate it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, wait a minute. Wait, what am I still looking for? You're kind of... You already said it. Oh gosh, there's something on my goddamn...
Alright, so you can just move on to your next law, I guess, if I've said what you're looking for, which is Newton's flaming laser sword.
Well, there was a bug on my my leg, and I'm very scared right now. God, I didn't want to go to a gallery. Jesus, man, stop it, stop it right now. Okay, where was I? All right, next is sorry, Finagle's law. Finagle's law is related to Murphy's law. It states anything that can go wrong will at the worst possible time.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of an upgrade of Murphy's law.
Yeah, it's like Murphy's law, but like if you weren't already a pessimist, you're even more of a pessimist now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Murphy's law times 2.
Murphy's law on to a higher order of magnitude.
On a new murder magnitude, what?
It's okay, never mind. But yeah, I live by that principle pretty much. Not really.
Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
I used to. If you asked me a few months ago, I would have said yeah, for sure. But then now I'm more like, sometimes.
Okay. Okay. Well, gosh. Okay, where was I? Fingal's law. No, wait. We already said Fingal's law.
Yeah. So should I go on?
Yeah.
All right. So my next one is Poe's law. Poe's law is without a winking, smiley, or other blatant display of humor, it is utterly impossible to parody an extreme view in such a way that someone won't mistake it for the genuine article. Meaning, if you say something like, oh, the earth is flat because pancakes are flat, people are still gonna think you're being serious when it's quite obvious what you're saying is ridiculous and is satire.
Okay, so I forgot to mention this to you. When... I'm sorry, wait. Okay, sorry. I forgot to mention this to you before we started this, but I did kind of stumble upon something that was out of my kind of letter range, I guess, because you said look through A and K.
Oh, okay.
And I went to P, and I found Poe's law, and that's one of mine.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Well, it is a cool law. Poe was a cool guy. He shares the same name with Edgar Allan Poe.
Is it really Edgar Allan Poe, though?
I don't think so. Probably not. In fact, definitely not, because Edgar Allan Poe did not live in a time of internet and stuff, so...
That is true. That is true. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. Yeah.
Maybe he did.
Maybe
he
he
did.
still be
Yeah,
alive.
Hitler's in Argentina. Totally, yeah.
Yeah, he lives in Argentina, and he's living with Hitler.
He's living with hiccups.
He's living with Hitler.
Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah. Your turn. You can go with your law.
Right. My next law is Hebb's law. Neurons that fire together wire together.
Okay.
Which is obvious and makes sense. And it's funny.
It sounds funny for sure, and it has to do with like stuff that happens in your brain.
Yeah, neurons that fire together wire together, which makes sense. You know, they're wired together, so they fire together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh.
That's true. Yeah.
I hate my throat. Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'll just go on with my next one now then. This is there's two names for this one. Rosenthal Effect is one name, and another name for it is the Pygmalion Effect.
The Pygmalion Effect?
The Pygmalion Effect, yeah.
Okay.
Alternatively, the Rosenthal Effect, or the Rosenthal, or however you want to pronounce it.
Right.
And it is that higher expectations lead to an increase in performance, and low expectations lead to a decrease in performance.
High expectations lead... Wait, what? What? Repeat that?
High expectations lead to an increase in performance, and low expectations lead to a decrease in performance. So if someone gives you low expectations, it's going to make you perform lower. Or if you have low expectations for yourself, then you will perform less good. You won't do as well.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and the alternate is true. I mean, the opposite is true as well. Higher expectations lead to better performances. Which is why you should always have high expectations for yourself.
Don't be sad. Love yourself.
Yeah. Love yourself.
Depression isn't cool.
It's
Don't
not cool
kill
at all.
yourself. Don't kill yourself. Kill depression. Word.
Yeah. I like that. We should make that into an ad campaign.
Exactly. Don't kill yourself. Make depression kill itself. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna move on to mine.
Okay, yeah.
Well, mine next was originally gonna be Poe's law, but since now Paul's already taken it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move on to the next one. Hitler's law. No, it's not Hitler's law. What am I saying? Kranzberg's law. Kranzberg's laws of technology. The first law states that technology is neither good nor bad, nor is it neutral. Wait, god damn it! I didn't copy paste the whole thing, did I? Oh no.
Oh dear.
No.
Okay, you know what you should do? You know what you should do? I have been in utter agony for the past, 15 minutes because I really, really need to pee. And I've been holding it in. So you can go on with your next law. I gotta use the toilet, man.
Oh gosh. Well, while my friend goes to the toilet, I would like to say a few words of... I would just like to say a few words. Dunbar's number is a theoretical cognitive limit to the number of people with whomst one can maintain stable social relationships. No precise value has been proposed for Dunbar's number, but a commonly cited approximation is 150. Both by British anthropologist Robin Dunbar. Yes. I'm still looking for it, by the way. I can't find it. No, wait. I might have found it. Just,
Okay, I'm back.
Just a bit more. No, wait. What? That was it. Does it just not state the whole thing?
Maybe that is the whole thing. They're not good, bad, nor are they neutral.
No, but it's titled under the first law, though. Kranzberg. Yeah, no, that's it. The first of which states technology is neither good nor bad, nor is it neutral.
Okay. So I guess we should just continue then.
Yes, Kranzberg was awarded Leonardo da Vinci Medal by the Society of History of Technology.
Alright. So my next law is the Jason Segel's law.
Oh gosh.
A man with a watch knows what time it is. A man with two watches is never sure.
Oh no. That's good. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's good and bad.
Yeah. It's not really Jason Segel's law, it's just Segel's law.
Okay, I thought it was just I was gonna make a joke about the Cunningham one, where I would reference Randy Cunningham in that one show.
Right.
I'll be like, yeah, it was written by, but I didn't really go through with it because I don't know. I don't think many people will get it because I don't think many people watch that show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think you watched that show.
No, I don't. I do know about it though.
Huh?
I don't watch the show, but I do know about it.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I don't have. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna put the random game here, and I'm gonna just. Boop. Okay. Next law is Winter's Law, a sound law operating on Plato-Slavic short vowels. What?
Are you just
Winter's Law.
naming a random one now?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have one, we can just I can just name my last two, and then we can just we'll finish.
Really? What? How long is it? Like how long have we been?
We've already done 30 minutes, so I'll just say my last two because I only have two left anyway.
Okay.
We can talk about it for a bit, and then we can be done. We're done.
We're done, man.
We're done.
Wolf.
The people who listen to this podcast will no longer enslave us to record one per week. I'm just kidding. We'll always do this for every week
Wolf's
once.
Law bone adapts to
forever.
pressure or lack.
Okay, so I've got two left. One's a law, another one's a principle. We're gonna start with Shirky principle. Institutions will try to preserve the problem to which they are the solution.
Turkeys are what?
Shirky principle. Institutions will Shirky principle. The Shirky principle.
Okay.
Institutions will try to preserve the problem to which they are the solution.
Oh, I thought it was turkeys.
No. No. So the condom industry wants people to keep banging.
They want people to keep banging?
Yeah, they will forcibly make people bang so that condoms will still be used, according to Shirky principle.
Wow. Wow. That is, that's rape.
That's rape? Yeah, kind of, I guess. I mean, is it rape? It's like third party rape, which is very strange. But
It's
actually, is there a word for that? Third party rape. It's not pornographic. Just like you force two people to do it in front of you. Like, is there a word for that? Like third party rape. That's the best term I can come up with it. Comment down below. What do you think it should be called?
What I think it's called is, gang rape.
Okay. Last law.
Well, okay. I have a list of rape names here. There's date rape, gang rape.
All right. That's for another episode. Listing types of rape.
Of children. Situary.
All right. Last law of the episode, which is Zipf's law. ZIPF. Zipf's law. It's a thing in linguistics. There's a Vsauce video which is like probably 20 minutes long about it, and he's probably only talking about Zipf's law for 3 minutes in it, but don't worry about it. Vsauce is great. So Zipf's law is a thing in linguistics. It's the observation that the frequency of use of the nth most frequently used word in any natural language is approximately inversely proportional to n, or more simply that a few words are used very often but many or most are used rarely.
Corrective rape. Okay.
Okay, so basically it's like, yeah, certain words are used a lot, other words aren't, and there's actually a graphical representation of word distribution for most works of literature that shows that certain words will be used a lot, and then the next most frequently used word will probably only be only be used half as much as the most commonly used word, so on and so forth, until you've done all the words in the book.
I see.
And the it looks a bit like a reciprocal graph, kind of.
A reciprocal graph?
Yeah, it looks a little bit like a reciprocal graph, or just like not really reciprocal, but what's the yeah, it's like what is how do I explain this? It's like an exponential graph that has been rotated 180 degrees. Not rotated 100. It's a mirrored version of a exponential graph. That's what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's a Vsauce video about that. I did not explain that very well at all, but the Vsauce video does.
Right, okay.
So that's it.
What is the Vsauce video?
It's called Zipf's law.
It's called Zipf's law?
Yeah, after the law that I just said.
Hey, Vsauce, Michael here.
What is coughing?
What is coughing? What is coughing? It's like your throat slapping.
Okay, so anyway, we're done here. Do you want to do the outro or should I do it?
Third-Party Rape, The Conspiracy to Rob Your Healthcare by C. Norman Shealy, originally published 1993. Do you like this book? Yes.